Top story on ABC News Breakfast today. More than 6,000 Qantas passengers are facing serious disruptions this morning. Nearly 60 domestic flights have been cancelled or delayed because of a 4-hour national strike by ground staff.
Last-minute talks between Qantas and the union yesterday failed to avert the strike over an ongoing pay dispute. All affected passengers will be advised of alternative arrangements by text message.
Mick Pieri is from the Transport Workers Union and he joins us now from Sydney Airport. Mick Pieri, good morning. We understand your stop work or your series of actions were supposed to start at 7 a.m, but something prevented that. Is that right?
Yes, good morning, Virginia. Look, that's correct. Qantas have decided that they would lock out all the workers right around the country. Workers that were supposed to start at 4, set things up, have things ready for when they did walk out. It wouldn't have been as big a disruption. Qantas have decided that that's not good enough. They'll take their own strike, and they've been striking since 4 a.m.
So you were locked out at 4, so was anything done on the ground in the meantime that you're aware of?
We have no idea. We've been locked out. We don't know what's happened inside.
So do you know if anything is proceeding at all inside? Because I know you were, as you say, you were going to put things in preparations and then walk out. Do you know if anything's been done?
Well, no, we don't know. We don't know what's happened inside, like I said.
Nobody
was allowed inside.
We were hearing yesterday that Qantas were going to be using other Qantas staff in order to be in your place. Do you believe they would be able to do that other Qantas staff would have the skills to be able to keep this show on the road, as it were?
Look, they've been training strike breakers for, at least 9 months that we know of. I believe it's actually longer than that. So, do I believe that they'll be able to do the same job? No, I don't. Are the guys get down there going to be safe? We're not sure. We'll see what happens at the end of the day. But the reality of this is, the reason this is broken down is Qantas have decided that let's take the fight on. It's more their strike than what it is the workers, because the reality is we've been trying to talk to Qantas now for 5 months, and for 5 months it's just fallen to an absolute zero back from Qantas.
Mick, it's hard to say that it's their strike. You guys have brought this on. You've been warning of it for some time. You gave the company good notice. If they choose to lock you out and if they choose to use other workers in order to keep their company going, you can hardly blame them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can understand what you're saying, but unfortunately, we can blame them for the 1,000 jobs that are gone. We can be upset about the fact that we've got nowhere, and Alan Joyce has just got a 71% pay rise, $5 million. The rest of the board have got 58% pay rise. And what are we asking for? Job security, the right to go to an independent arbitrator, the commission. We're asking for a 5% pay rise. I suppose Alan Joyce can take a 50% pay rise, and that pays for everything.
So what happens now? And now that you've been locked out and you've given notice of the period of time that your strike action was going to run for, at the end of that period of time, do you and your fellow workers just expect to walk back on the job?
Look, I can't tell you that. I haven't met with our workers. As far as we were concerned coming into today, that was for 4 hours. The truth of the matter was we're going to actually meet and see if we needed to go back earlier. I don't know whether they'll be back at 11. We'll find out. What Qantas has done is given us the right that if they decide not to go back, legally they don't have to.
Legally, Qantas doesn't have to go back, or the workers don't have to go back?
No, the workers don't have to go back.
Legally, right, OK. Well, look, just to return to your log of claims, the reason that Qantas, and we'll be speaking to Qantas in a little while, the reason they've been saying that these discussions have broken down is that there's just unreasonable demands in your log of claims there that in the words of Olivia Worth, no company should be prepared to put up with. Is any of that negotiable at this stage?
Everything's negotiable. We've put a log of claims to Qantas, and that log of claims has been met with a negative response on every point. Now, Qantas has responded with 4 points. They haven't been negotiating in good faith. Now, we wouldn't be here if they could actually turn around and say and discuss it fairly, openly, and we've gone to these meetings not just with the union, it's been with the union delegates. It's been a big group that's been trying to discuss this. We've gotten nowhere.
Mick Pieri, just quickly and finally, this action was going to affect around about 6,000 travellers this morning. The way it started off today with the lockout and the like, do you believe that it'll be only 6,000 affected, or would it be worse?
Look, can I just say, and I can take this from every worker, you know, they don't want to cause any disruptions to the 6,000 that Qantas are saying it will affect. They've been given no choice. The thing that we need to remember is that all those people that are inconvenienced today, don't forget the families of these workers who, because of job security and the fact that Alan Joyce keeps coming out with jobs that are going to be made redundant, okay, they go home at the end of the day and they don't know if their job's still going to be here at the end of these negotiations. Alan Joyce announced 1,000 workers. He spoke to our union.
Yep.
He said we won't be affected, and the very next day, 70 of our workers were terminated, given redundancies. Well, that's great for their future, isn't it?
Mick, Pieri, we'll have to leave our conversation there. We'll check back in with you and the union, of course, also with Qantas throughout the morning. Thanks for making some time for us.
Thank you very much.
Mick Pieri there from the Transport Workers Union. We will have regular updates for you from our reporters. They're at both Sydney and Melbourne airports all morning. And as I mentioned, we will speak to Qantas spokesperson Olivia Worth later on the program, in particular about that 4 a.m. lockout.